Hope is the Thing with Feathers by Emily Dickinson. So, first, I'm just going to read it because I know you guys will be so inspired. So, here we go. Hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all. And sweetest in the gale is heard, and sore must be the storm that could abash the little bird that kept so many warm. I've heard it in the chillest land and on the strangest sea, yet never, in extremity, it asked a crumb of me. So, this poem was pretty solid. Dickinson did a good job. After reading it a few times, what struck me the most is Dickinson's message that she chooses to send throughout this poem. But before we get to that, it's important to recognize that Dickinson is, of course, using metaphor throughout the poem by comparing hope to a bird, using its encounters to draw parallels to hardships or ordeals faced in life. Basically, the premise is she's saying the feeling of hope prevails over negative emotions and that it is always available to a person at no extra cost. In essence, anyone can have hope, no matter how dark times may be. These values are preached throughout the poem. For example, in the third line, we read, "and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all," suggesting that hope is always there for us. Also, in the second stanza, when Dickinson writes, "and sore must be the storm that could abash the little bird that kept so many warm," suggesting that hope is difficult to conquer and it is a prevailing emotion. So that's cool. The most interesting thing about the poem to me, though, is the last stanza where she's saying that the bird never asks for any sort of compensation or a crumb, in this case, for its song. If you read between the lines, kind of like what I said earlier, it's clear that she's saying that hope doesn't really come at a price, and it asks nothing in return for its rewards that it offers. So, I had to write a cheesy version of the poem, so here we go. The light that never dims. Hope is the thing with feathers, the engine that ignites the fire, and kindles the inner flames that let one face the impossible. And stronger, strangely, does its vigor grow, when the sun is hidden and the path unclear, yet pulses with life and glows, lighting the path that was so near. It lies in every darkest hour, in every tear that slides down the cheek. One can scale a mountain weak by simply flying above its peak. My poem is similar to Dickinson's, but the overall message is slightly different. I chose to focus more on the idea that hope is strongest or ever present during the worst times rather than the idea that it is always there, like Dickinson kind of suggests in her poem, in her version. For example, in Dickinson's first stanza, she discusses how the song of hope never stops, but I instead describe in my second and third stanzas how this same song is sung even louder during dark times, like when I wrote that it is present in every tear, suggesting that it is there as a source of comfort during these times. There is one line in Dickinson's poem, however, that reflects the message of my poem, which is, "and sweetest in the gale is heard," in stanza 2. This phrase emphasizes the strength of hope, once again in this darkest hour type of situation. Also, metaphors used again with the engine reference in the first stanza of my poem, but it's not continuous. It's not like common throughout the whole poem, like Dickinson's bird is in her poem, where it's the metaphor is being used throughout the whole entire poem in that one. Both poems, though they're both very positive. They have this positive kind of connotation that goes along with it, that holds like the values of hope in high regard, and shows that both authors, Dickinson and myself, value its uniqueness.